You're live.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the City Council meeting. Today is Monday, October 20th, 2025. It's approximately 1 p.m. I am Mayor Eric Enriquez. Before we start, I want to mention that we have the American Sign Language interpreters up front. If anyone should need them, and they're here at all our meetings. Thank you. We're going to start with a moment of silence. If you all please stand. As for our brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces as they protect our interests around the world, and also our police and fire that protect our city 24/7, 365. Today we have a special guest. We have retired from the Army Sergeant Major Mike Cano, who's going to play the national anthem for us. Thank you. And now, Councilor Flores, if you'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Remain standing, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next will be recognitions. Mike, you're still here. Before we get to our recognition, which is going to be the Veterans Parade Grand Marshals that we're going to announce and introduce and recognize, I just want to share a few things about Mike Cano. He was born and raised in Las Cruces. He's a graduate from Las Cruces High School. He also attended NMSU, a graduate in 1990 with a bachelor's in music and education. Later, he won an audition with the United States Army Band, Pershing owned in Washington, D.C., and won a trumpet position with the ceremonial band and the United States Army Herald Trumpets. He's also a retired veteran, a sergeant major for the U.S. Army. He has a distinct privilege of working with the NMSU alumni, the arts and science, and also participates with the Pride Marching Band. So thank you for all that you do, and thank you for sharing with us your talent and your skills. It was really meaningful and awesome to have you here today. Thank you. Let's give them another round of applause. So as I said, next we have the recognition of the Veterans Parade and Grand Marshals. So I'll ask Bill Hawkins to come up.
Mayor Enriquez, City Council members, ladies and gentlemen, I am Bill Hawkins, the committee chair for the 2025 Las Cruces Veterans Parade. The Las Cruces Veterans Parade Committee has established a tradition over the past 2 decades of recognizing the outstanding military careers and civic contributions of various individuals from the local community. We have honored women's veterans, World War II veterans, Korean War veterans, Vietnam veterans, and last year, we honored several veterans who are now first responders within the community. This year, we decided to recognize a group of veterans who very seldom receive recognition for their contributions to our country. The local high school Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps cadre and leadership. These service members play a huge role in the development and maturation of those individuals who choose to enroll in each high school's JROTC program. Many go on to further their military training in ROTC studies at the university level, and in fact become the leaders of our military forces. Before I introduce the honorees, I would like to read the creed of each of the JROTC branches to provide some insight into the morals, ethics, and values that are being instilled in these young people. You guys want to come on? Come on up. Right here. Yeah, both of you. Right here. For the Army. Again, this is the JROTC Creed. I am an Army Junior ROTC cadet. I will always conduct myself to bring credit to my family, country, school, and the Corps of Cadets. I am loyal and patriotic. I am the future of the United States of America. I do not lie, cheat, or steal, and will always be accountable for my actions and deeds. Air Force. I earn respect when I uphold the core values of integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. I will always conduct myself to bring credit to my family, school, Corps of Cadets, community, and to myself. I will honor those I serve with, those who have gone before me, and those who come after me. I am a patriot, a leader, and a wingman, devoted to those I follow, serve, and lead. I am connected and faithful to every Corps cadet who serve their community and nation with patriotism. Navy. Hold on just a second. Master Sergeant, could you come up front? I am a Navy Junior ROTC cadet. I strive to promote patriotism and to become an informed and responsible citizen. I respect those in positions of authority. I support those who have defended freedom and democracy around the world. I proudly embrace the Navy's core values of honor, courage, and commitment. I am committed to excellence and the fair treatment of all. And now the mayor will greet the 2025 Las Cruces Veterans Parade Grand Marshal. First, Sergeant First Class Anthony Ramirez from Las Cruces High School. Next, Master Sergeant Emerald Galindez from Las Cruces High School. And finally, Master Sergeant Deshaun Gregory from Mayfield High School. We have several who are not able to join us today. Major Val Bigger from Mayfield High School, CPO Jesus Escudero from Gadsden, SCPO Fabian Salazar from Gadsden, BMCS Robert Rodriguez from Oregon Mountain, and OM Chief Joshua Jones were unable to be here due to their school responsibilities. We will be presenting special Grand Marshal medallions to each of these individuals on Saturday, November 8th, prior to the parade in front of their troops. Let's give them a round of applause in appreciation of the outstanding job they do on a daily basis. Mayor Enriquez, members of the Las Cruces City Council, thank you very much for allowing us to recognize these fine veterans. Please join us for the Veterans Parade on November 8th at 11 o'clock in the downtown area of Las Cruces. Thank you.
Yeah, they're right here. Okay. Anyway, thank you again, gentlemen, for your service. My father served in World War II. My eldest brother served in Korea and was actually stationed in Germany. And after that, or before that. And then my second eldest brother served in Vietnam, who really never recovered from his wounds. So thank you, gentlemen, for your service and your sacrifice. Okay. Oh, here we go. Whereas the people, this is a City of Las Cruces proclamation. Whereas the people of the City of Las Cruces, New Mexico stand firmly committed to quality after-school programs and opportunities because they provide safe, challenging, and engaging experiences that help children develop social, emotional, physical, and academic skills, support working families by ensuring children are safe and productive when not in school, build stronger communities, and promote positive relationships by involving students, parents, business leaders, and volunteers, engage families, schools, and community partners in advancing youth success and well-being, and offer young people proven benefits in academic, social, emotional health, and physical wellness. And whereas after-school programs in Las Cruces continue to innovate with enriching activities that promote social, emotional learning, strengthen leadership and teamwork, and prepare youth for future success. And whereas the Paseo del Norte Health Foundation celebrates 30 years of investing in health education and prevention, including through the BOOST, B-O-O-S-T network, in partnership with the United Way of El Paso County, which supports after-school opportunities across our region. And whereas the City of Las Cruces is proud to be home to organizations that provide leadership in youth, health, and education, including the Parks and Recreation Department, Boys and Girls Club of Las Cruces, Enrich the Kids, Cruces Creatives, Community Action Agency, NMSU STEM Outreach Center, and Friends of the Oregon Mountains, Desert Peaks. And whereas research shows that youth who participate in after-school programs perform better academically, develop leadership skills, and are less likely to engage in risky behaviors. And whereas Lights On After School, the national celebration of after-school opportunities, will be held on October 23, 2025, highlighting the importance of keeping lights on and doors open for children and families. Now, therefore, we, the Mayor and City Council of Las Cruces, New Mexico, do hereby proclaim October 23, 2025 as Lights On After School Day in Las Cruces, and encourage all residents to recognize and support the vital role after-school programs play in shaping healthy, safe, and successful futures for our children. Signed by our Mayor, Eric Enriquez, attested by our City Clerk, Christine Rivera. Oh, perdón, I should have called Enrique Garcia, Ashley Echevarria, Sandra Day and Ana Ramirez.
Good afternoon. My name is Sandra Day. I'm a program officer with the Paso del Norte Health Foundation. My colleagues and I were here about a month ago to receive our 30th anniversary of Proclamation, so we're very grateful that you welcome us again today. With me, we have Ms. Kimberly Cedillo, we have Ana Ramirez, Enrique Garcia, Bernadette, and Darlene. And the team is here to represent our out-of-school time network, which is big. It is Tri-State binational, so we have over 100 members in Ciudad Juarez, southern New Mexico. That includes Luna, Otero, Doña Ana counties in New Mexico, as well as El Paso and Husband in Texas. And so I just want to thank you, Mayor Enriquez and City Council, and all the honorary guests, for having us here today. It is a privilege to receive this proclamation. We know the importance of out-of-school time programs. We know what it does for our kids. We know that it keeps them engaged and connected with one another. We know that it brings them with trusted adults, with positive activities in safe environments, so that they decrease the amount of risky behaviors that they're engaging in. So we know healthy kids are kids that are well-rounded, that are in company of peers that are motivating them and making sure that they have a good future, and that they can see themselves as community members that give back to the communities they belong to. And we couldn't do this without all the organizations that we mentioned here in Las Cruces today, but we have many others across the Tri-State binational region that show up every single day for our youth. So if you are in any type of program that engages after-school programming for kids, we welcome you to our Boost Network. Our website is theboostnetwork.org, and anybody can become a member as long as you have a youth-serving organization. We do take a lot of pride in making sure that we provide high-quality trainings and capacity-building opportunities for the nonprofits who otherwise wouldn't have the means to receive such training, in hopes that it translates to having more adequate and high-quality out-of-school time programs for our kids. So we thank you for your time, and we appreciate. Thank you.
And if I may, I just want to also highlight the fact that the Boys and Girls Club of Las Cruces has been a great ambassador of this celebration. So we invite you all on Thursday, 5 at the Boys and Girls Club over here. We'll be having a little fall carnival for the kids. So if you want to come and check it out, it's a great activity. So 5 October 23rd, we'll see you at the Boys and Girls Club if you can make it. Thank you.
That's a good idea. Nicole Black, Chris Ortiz, and Randy Montoya, please step up here. Whereas Careers in Construction Month is an annual month designated to increase public awareness and appreciation of construction craft professionals and the entire construction workforce, And whereas during this month, employers associations and schools are encouraged to conduct job fairs, panel discussions, and local community events to inform students of the vast employment opportunities in construction. And whereas the construction industry is one of our nation's largest industries, employing more than 8 million individuals in the United States. And whereas the construction industry needs nearly 500,000 new craft professionals in 2026. And whereas we are pleased to honor the construction craft professional and the critical role they play in the development and growth of our state of New Mexico. And whereas NCCER was created by the construction industry to standardize training and enhance the industry image by promoting the hard work and dedication of our nation's craft professionals. And whereas the mission of NCCER's Build Your Future initiative is to narrow the skills gap by guiding America's youth and displaced workers into opportunities that lead to long-term rewarding careers in construction. And whereas the goal of the Build Your Future initiative is to shift the public's negative perception about careers in the construction industry and provide a path for individuals to become craft professionals. Now, therefore, we, the Mayor and City Council of Las Cruces, New Mexico, do hereby proclaim October 2025 as Careers in Construction Month in the state of New Mexico, and we urge all citizens to join us in this special observance. Signed by our Mayor, Eric Enriquez, and our City Clerk, Christine Rivera. And to whom?
My name is Chris Ortiz. I'm one of the owners. I just want to thank Mayor Enriquez. I know we had a conversation about a year and a half ago in regards to having some internship programs, and lo and behold, now coming a year and a half later, we are able to have a program for these kids that will allow the traits and things of that nature that have been being lost over the last few years, and continuing them with a great internship program, and working hand in hand with the university to allow ourselves to keep our students here within the community and really grow our community moving forward. So I'm happy as an owner to be a part of something that is bigger than myself, to allow ourselves for our city to grow and keep our funds here with a great university and hopefully even a better construction company. The team that we have has a really good program that is second to none, and they continue to evolve it and polish their wheel. And thank you to all the city as well for allowing us to do that and be a part of that. That's something that's bigger than just a company itself, to allow us to grow our youth and continue to keep growing our community. And thank you for that.
Thank you. We're done here, right?
I'll do this.
I'm gonna.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have a presentation by Matt Mario Sainz of the Las Cruces Public Schools.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Enriquez, councilors, City Manager Tamapiao, it's nice to be back here. My name is Chenyu Alex Liu, Deputy Superintendent for Las Cruces Public Schools. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to speak today. First of all, I want to say thank you for all the support and partnership from the city to our 22,000 kids at Las Cruces Public Schools. Without your support and guidance and partnership, we won't have that many great and successful programs for our kids, especially community schools, family support center, student wellness program, not to mention the SROs at our school campus to protect our students' safety, and also a recent advocate from Mayor Enriquez for our CTE program recently. So thank you so much for all the support and advocate for our kids. Today we are here to advocate for our budget process and budget survey. As you all know, that inspired by the good budget process here at the city, ever since I joined the district, I changed the budget process at the district from a process that mainly lead by finance to a year-round bottom-up budget process to include everyone. We have 40 budget development committees throughout the city. So parents, students, staff members, and stakeholders like you guys determined the budget priorities for the next year so we can put our resources together to address immediately in our next year's budget. So without further ado, let me turn it over to Matt.
Good afternoon, Mayor, members of council, City Manager Thelma Piao. Great to see everyone here today. So my name is Matthew Sines. I'm the Budget Director with Las Cruces Public Schools. Part of our outreach is to provide maximum transparency, collaboration, and accountability towards student success. So with that, we invite the public out to participate in our budget survey. Here on the screen, we have a QR code that you can scan and go straight to our budget survey. It's not quite open yet since the survey runs November 1st through December 22nd. But just to note, for all the students who do take it, who are aged grades 6 through 12, have the opportunity to win a $10 gift card. So that's a great deal. Also, we'd like to invite everyone out to our very first budget town hall meeting of the year. It's going to be on November 6th at Las Cruces Public Schools boardroom. And so with this information that we received from the budget survey and our town hall meetings, we use to determine our community priorities. So over the past several years, we've been able to make significant impacts to safety with the installation of weapons detection systems across the district. We also made camera upgrade improvements across the district. We also provided for facility improvements. Most recently, we had the reopening of Columbia Elementary, which is a $70 million project. We also had several additions to classroom wings as well as multi-purpose rooms through several schools. In addition to that, one of the community priorities has been instructional resources. So we provided additional support for those programs, technology, materials, as well as software and tutoring to provide those opportunities for students to succeed. So with that, I want to thank you all for your time and allowing us to come down here today and cross-promote our events. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
It's good to see you, Matt. And,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, very, very good to see you. So it says you have the date and topic, but where are the meetings? Are they at the school board room?
Mayor, Councilor Flores, yes, it's at Las Cruces Public School boardroom.
The boardroom.
Located down the street, 505 Main.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
And next, we have a presentation by Javier Galtenco. and he's with the U.S. Small Business Administration.
Good afternoon, City Manager, City Mayor, and City Council members. My name is Javier Caltenco. I'm a Public Information Officer with the Small Business Administration, Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience. SBA is providing to homeowners, renters, nonprofit organizations, and businesses low-interest federal disaster loans to help those who were affected by the severe storms, flooding, and landslides that happened between June and August of 2025. Excuse me. The Small Business Administration is the primary source of funds to pay for repairs or replacement costs not fully covered by the insurance. We have two different types of loans for businesses. One is for physical damages to their property. So it could be for like machinery, equipment, supplies, inventory, anything similar to that. There's a limit of $2 million. We also have the economic injury disaster loan for businesses, for smaller businesses and nonprofit organizations. This is a working capital loan to help the smaller businesses maintain their doors open just in case they're suffering economically. We want to make sure that they don't close their business and they can keep their business open. They can use this to pay for water, electricity, their mortgage, rent, or any other operating expense that they may have. There is also a limit of $2 million. They can also be, it could be a combination of the two, of physical damages and economic injury, up to $2 million. For homeowners, we have up to $500,000 to repair or replace their primary residence. We also have for homeowners and renters up to $100,000 to repair or replace any personal property they lost. That could be furniture, appliances, or even a personal vehicle as well. So far, we have offered more than $1.3 million. We do have two different declarations, one in here in Doña Ana County, but we also have one in Lincoln, I think it's Lincoln County? Yeah, Lincoln County, sorry. Yeah, so we have another one there. So combined, we have offered more than $1.3 million, and we have disbursed more than $650,000 as of yesterday. We do have some, okay, so is it time?
No, continue.
Okay, so okay. So on a case-per-case basis, we want to make sure that those, homeowners and businesses, they may be able to qualify for refinancing. This is one of the options that they may be able to qualify for. We also have relocation. On a case-per-case basis, they may be able to relocate as well. So we encourage anybody who was affected to please visit one of our centers that we have in Vado right now. We currently have it at the Vado del Cerro Community Resource Center. It's open Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, and Saturday, 10 to 3. Okay, and yes, we have deadlines. We want to make sure with the deadline for the physical damages already passed, which was October 15, but we do have a grace period of 60 days. So therefore, if anybody who still needs assistance, they can still come. We can still accept their application. We do have a website where they can apply online as well, which is lending.sba.gov. And for the for the economic injury, we allow the businesses a little bit more time. So the deadline for that is going to be April 22nd of 2026. And I think that's all I have for now. If you want the interest rates, I can give you the interest rates. For homeowners and renters, it's as low as 2.8%. For businesses, it's as low as 4%. And for nonprofits, it's 3.65%. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Javier. Next, we'll go to Job of the Week with Sarah Rainey.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. My name is Sarah Rainey. I'm the one-stop coordinator for the Southwest region of America's Job Center, New Mexico. For the jobs of the week, we have a parks maintenance worker for the city of Las Cruces starting at $15.57 an hour, and it closes on the 27th. We also have a building inspector 1 for the city, and that starts at $22.85 an hour. It is a continuous posting at this time. We have an office assistant for Russell, Dean, and Clark, LLC. That starts at $15 an hour, goes up to $25, and the posting closes in November. We also have a maintenance landscape worker from Monte Vista Rentals. They pay depending on experience, and the posting closes in the beginning of November. We have a TANF career consultant. That is temporary assistance for needy families. That one is with the workforce and is on the state website. That starts at $23.90 an hour and closes on the 23rd. We also have an HR reporting specialist for MVT Holdings for $17 an hour, and that posting closes at the beginning of November as well. Just a reminder of our upcoming events. We've had a ton of events so far this month. We've been extremely busy with job events. We have one coming up in Sunland Park. There's still time for any employers that want to sign up to come down to Sunland Park. It's free for employers to come down there, or any services as well. It's job fair / services, so we want to include that as well. But come down there and join us. You can sign up online at employeenm.com if you'd like to. We also have our veterans stand down at the VFW on Valley next week, and then our Community Hope Job Readiness, that's this week. I'm sorry, veterans stand down is this week. See, we've been too busy. Lots of events going on. And then we also have our employer in-office networking event that is open to the public for all employers, and then all job seekers as well. Come into the office on Alameda and meet the employers that are hiring. They're ready to do on-the-spot interviews. As always, you can find us on all of our social medias, our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, not as much, but TikTok is growing as well. But all of our events are listed on EmployeenM, as well as any information that you might need to find more about the American Job Center and local jobs. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Next is Pets of the Week. Carol?
Good afternoon. I'm Carol Nelson, Digital Content Specialist with the Animal Services Center of the Mesilla Valley. This week, our dog of the week is Champ, 90919. When I first arrived, I was a bit unsure of the shelter life, who wouldn't be a little shy in a new place. But now that I've spent a bit more time here, I'm feeling more relaxed. I've been learning that humans can be pretty great. Once I get a chance to warm up, I become a big ball of affection. Treats definitely help me come out of my shell as well. Nothing makes me happier than a little cuddle or some shared time. If you're looking for a loving buddy who's ready to grow and learn with you, I might just be the one. And our cat of the week is Moto Moto, 98350. When you first meet me, you might notice just how calm and friendly I can be. The moment my kennel door opens, I'm ready to greet you with a chirp and a meow. There's something magical about a gentle touch, and I can't get enough. If you pet me, I'll nuzzle right in, making biscuits with my paws. If you try to stop, you might just feel my playful love bites as I gently grab your hand, begging for just a little more affection. So if you're looking for a big, affectionate kitty who just wants to be adored, I might be your perfect match. And as always, we'd like to highlight our long-term residents as well, because we would love for them to find forever homes sooner rather than later, just because the longer they stay in shelter, it's harder for them to thrive. Cosette has now been with us 286 days, Cookies and Cream 276, Dexter 271, Finn 261 days. And highlighting our upcoming events this coming weekend, we actually have 2 events. Our Puppy Palooza at PetSmart will be there Saturday from 9 to 12, so definitely come by. We don't always have puppies, so it's a great time to adopt a puppy. And our drive-through vaccination clinic is this Sunday. We'll be at the Field of Dreams parking lot from 9 to 1. And as always, for more information, you can visit ascmv.org or visit our social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Next is a conflict of interest. Does any member of City Council, City Manager, or any member of the city staff have any known conflict of interest with any item on the agenda?
None.
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 Next, we'll move to public participation. We'll allow 3 minutes, no pending litigation or items on the non-consent. Since it is election season, please refrain from using this time as a political platform. And also, before anyone else, I guess members, are there anyone from the Las Cruces Public Schools Blue Ribbon Committee? Is there anyone here? No? Then, okay, Katrina will, if you'll just usher, please state your name and speak directly into the microphone. Thanks.
Mayor, council folks here today, and those watching online, I'm Lynn Moorer. You've received considerable evidence that the city of Las Cruces is not complying with the lead and copper rule. It's preposterous that the utilities director says she believes they're meeting all requirements. When concerns were raised about departmental activities, she instructed staff to remove records and manipulate data. When deficiencies were noted publicly regarding the city's false characterizations regarding installation dates in relation to the lead ban, she instructed that all installation dates be disappeared. Some records now say piping is non-lead based on installation after the lead ban, but provides no record of the actual installation date. These characterizations have no credibility. When deficiencies were noted publicly about the city's inspections at the meter pit and manipulation of inspection dates, the director instructed that all inspection dates be disappeared from the records. That the choice is to hide incriminating information rather than fix the problems has potentially huge consequences for the city and the utility services taxpayers rely upon. It also evinces an irresponsible and callous attitude toward the most vulnerable water users in the city who may not understand the stakes involved and the implications for their health and that of their young children and unborn children. Water consumers in Las Cruces have a right to expect that the water they drink is safe and that the facts about city water management are not manipulated or falsified. The key issue of the city's inadequate investigation technique, just looking in the meter pit, must be remedied. None of the investigations carried out so far is reliable. They must be redone using techniques acceptable to EPA. One technique isn't sufficient to determine reliably that a line is non-lead. See handout 1. It's ironic that those of you who profess great concern for the less privileged in our community, especially people of color, evince no concern for them when the city leaves their mobile homes off the inventory, much less investigate their pipes. When Las Cruces Utilities can't be bothered to make sure Spanish-only speakers know immediately how to translate the website into Spanish. And when the Deputy Director of Regulatory Compliance falsely tells callers that there's no assistance available for folks who don't have the financial resources to replace their pipes. We ask those of you who demonstrate cozy relationships with staff and parrot their falsehoods, who were you elected to serve? To those who haven't studied or requested any of the additional documentation we've presented demonstrating the validity of our concerns and proving the city's pattern of false statements, we ask, why not? One counselor said she just prefers to trust staff. That's not good enough. You were elected to serve ordinary citizens, the riffraff, the taxpayers of Las Cruces. You weren't elected to avert your gaze from non-compliant, substandard staff actions that harm the public. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. Thank you, Mayor Enriquez, for your courtesy.
Mayor, City Council, I'm Liz Rodriguez Johnson. Our concerns persist with respect to Las Cruces Utilities substandard public outreach and lack of responsiveness to questions regarding the lead and copper rule that have been outstanding for many months. EPA does actually require water systems to engage in robust factual communication with the community they're supposed to serve? What are the answers to the questions we posed at the October 6th meeting? We asked that they be posted on the website. As of this morning, no answers have been posted. We continue to expect answers to all our previously enunciated questions, plus the questions today, to be posted on the website by the next council meeting, November 3rd. EPA requires water systems to track lead connectors in their inventories and replace them when they are encountered, as you can see in handout A, page 1. Where in Las Cruces Utilities inventory are lead connectors tracked? None are evident in the online inventory, even though investigation reports note that the presence of galvanized connectors on some piping. See handout B. Keep in mind that the galvanized designation means there's some involvement of lead. How many galvanized connectors has the city replaced? Where do each of these replacements show up on the map? If they're not in the inventory of the map, why not? The New Mexico Finance Authority, which handled the $15 million grant from the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund the city agreed to at the last meeting, determined the amount the city must repay, in part on the categorization of the city as severely disadvantaged. How much of this $15 million grant will be used to specifically assist disadvantaged people? In light of the city's decision to disappear all disadvantaged community designations from the inventory, how is it determining who's disadvantaged? What are the criteria? Does Las Cruces Utilities intend to charge customers for the cost to replace any part of a service line? If so, how does the city intend to assist customers who are unable to pay to replace the portion they own? EPA requires that the city spell this out. See handout A, pages 3 and 4. Which water engineers at Las Cruces Utilities are fluent in Spanish? ¿Qué ingenieros de agua de Las Cruces Utilities hablan español con fluidez? Which water managers at Las Cruces Utilities are fluent in Spanish? ¿Qué administradores de agua en Las Cruces Utilities hablan español con fluidez? Which water technicians who investigate pipes are fluent in Spanish? ¿Qué técnicos de agua que investigan tuberías hablan español con fluidez? Gracias. Thank you.
My name is Rod Gajewski. I live in the county, but excuse that for a moment. The Mescalero Apaches and the State Land Office.
Rod, can you raise the mic up a little bit so it'll go into the recording?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
That better?
A little louder.
Okay, the Mescalero Apaches and the State Land Office are attempting to get 400 acres of landlocked land that's in the county, but the traffic flow and the infrastructure involves the city. That's why I'm here with the city. Councilmember Matisse would be responsible for the Los Alturas Drive and also the want to get rid of the property, but the property is landlocked, and Telbrook, Las Alturas, and the frontage road coming from El Paso are both 2-lane highways that there's no way that they could handle the traffic that's potential for this event center and a casino way up on the end of Telbrook. So I would answer any questions if anybody has any questions. No?
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. My name is Lucas Herndon. I'm a resident of District 2. Once again, in front of you in the wake of a deadly police killing in our city. I will take this opportunity to remind you that New Mexico is, in fact, the most dangerous state to be a civilian and be killed by police. We led the country last year, and as of this year, police have killed 4 more people in New Mexico through September in 2025 compared to the same period last year, meaning we will once again be the most violent state to be a citizen and be killed by the police in the country. Las Cruces police have killed at least 4 people in our city this year. You can talk about what justifies killing all you want. And the police have a standard operating procedure, which the chief has become very adept at repeating and parroting, and the press loves to pick up. There is a member of the press here today that I generally hold in very high regard, and will assume that his editors chose the headline for his story, because I personally feel like he's better at his job than what the headline give, that a man who was approached in his car by an armed cop yelling at him was quote unquote pursuing that officer with a hammer. That man was sitting in his car, and a man with a gun came to his door and opened the door. I'm a certified firearms instructor in the state of New Mexico. If somebody that I taught was in an altercation and pursued the person pressing the issue to their car and opened the door, they would be found guilty in a court of law. But not the police. The police had standard operating procedure. So if you're tired of me coming and yelling at you about the cops killing people, do your job and hold the cops accountable for killing people. But for now, I'll take the uncomfortable stares and the whisperings. I'll take the videos posted about me online. We're citizens of this country. The cops theoretically are here to protect us, not kill us. But as long as we live in the state that has the most likely outcome of an altercation with the police of me being killed by them, no. Unacceptable.
Derek Pacheco, for the record. I'll wait till I have everyone's undivided attention. Thank you, Mr. Cedillo. Good afternoon, Mayor and councilors. Today I want to speak about accountability, not only in how we protect our rights and our history, but in how we uphold the rule of law itself. Over the past several months, citizens like myself have worked tirelessly to uncover and document serious issues surrounding Project Jupiter, the proposed data center development. Through hundreds of hours of public records requests, video documentation, and cross-referencing county and state filings, we have uncovered a trove of evidence showing a clear pattern of neglect for due process, missing documentation, and potential conflicts of interest within the approval process. Because of this, I filed a petition for judicial review this past Friday in district court. This isn't about obstruction. It's about ensuring that the laws meant to protect the public are actually followed. When development outpaces accountability, democracy itself is at risk. And these same themes, loss of oversight, disregard for heritage, and erosion of trust, connect directly to other troubling actions in our city. We are installing flock surveillance cameras across Las Cruces, systems that track every passing vehicle and store data indefinitely. These cameras may seem harmless, but they raise serious Fourth Amendment and civil liberty concerns. Across the country, communities are rejecting them once the public realizes the risk of abuse, hacking, and unlawful tracking. We cannot trade privacy for a false sense of security. At the same time, we are witnessing the demolition of historic adobe homes in our protected districts, homes tied to the Camino Real de Tierra y Dentro, the very trail that gave birth to this valley. These structures are irreplaceable cultural assets. Destroying them to solve vagrancy or clean up a neighborhood is short-sighted and morally wrong. So in this same breath that we should be protecting citizens from unlawful surveillance and honoring our heritage, we should also be demanding transparency and integrity in every public project, including Project Jupiter. Las Cruces stands at a crossroads between freedom and overreach, between preservation and demolition, between blind approval and lawful review. I urge this council to stand with its citizens, to support the judicial review process, to halt flock camera installations, and to protect our historic adobe districts. The people of the city are paying attention, documenting, and determined to ensure that truth and law prevail. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Connie Chapman. I'm a resident of District 4. This statement concerns the fatal shooting of Mr. Mullen on October 9th. I feel it is important for the questions I raised to be made public. The officer-involved incident task force that is officially reviewing the fatal shooting is composed totally of other law enforcement agencies, and I doubt will raise the same questions I have as a concerned citizen. At the press conference, a reporter from El Paso KFOX News 14 asked Chief Story about the training officers receive with regard to the use of lethal force versus non-lethal force in such situations. Chief Story explained, and I quote, that as a general rule, an officer would not use a less lethal tool for a lethal encounter when they are by themselves. So if there had been multiple officers, there might have been different options, but there were not. And that's the end of the quote. What does Chief Story mean by different options? That the death of a human being might have been preventable with just more officers on the scene? If that was the case, and what I want to understand is then why was that officer in such a rush? When Mr. Mullen was he a threat while sitting in his car with his doors closed when the officer arrived? The officer orders the man out of his car. The officer opens the car door, not Mr. Mullen. What was the hurry or the purpose of having Mr. Mullen exit his car immediately? Mr. Mullen was dead within a minute of the officer's arrival. So again, what was the rush?
Good afternoon. My name is Jim Hurst. I just wanted to call your attention to the No Kings protest yesterday. It was a demonstration of the political sympathies of this town. I was there, and I estimate the crowd at well over 1,000. I know how difficult it is to get 1,000 people to do anything politically, even as simple as to send an email or to register to vote or something like that. 1,000 people were at the demonstration yesterday. Their political sympathies are liberal. Nobody was paid in spite of the claims by our president, who is a pillar of integrity, as you all know. He wouldn't lie to us. He wouldn't just make stuff up against his opponents, and he says we were paid. So I want to know where my check is. He says I'm getting one, but as far as I know, no one's gotten any or has ever gotten any at any of those political events. So you need to know your constituents, generally speaking, are sympathetic to liberal causes. And it's right that you are too. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll go to a closed meeting statement that I will read. So Las Cruces City Council met in closed session at 10:35 a.m. today, October 20th, 2025. The following were in attendance: myself, Mayor Enriquez, Mayor Pro Tem Bencomo, Councilor McClure, Councilor Coran, Councilor Graham, City Manager Ikani Tamopayao, City Attorney Brad Douglas, Parks Director Stephen Bingham, Interim Assistant City Manager David Cedillo, City Clerk Christine Rivera. Also was HR Director Joe Richards, Deputy HR Director Jose Vargas, Finance Director Leslie Doyle, Utilities Director Adrian Widmer, Dominique Rodriguez from Utilities, Carl Clark from Utilities, and Assistant City Manager Sonia Delgado. Outside counsel were Alan Dahl, Chris Delfipio, DeFlippo, Dina Holcomb. We met in closed session to discuss those limited items as stated, to discuss pending or threatening litigation as it pertains to the Walnut Skate Park, which is closed pursuant to New Mexico State Statute 1015-1H7. We discussed the bargaining strategy preliminary of collective bargaining negotiations between the policymaking body and the bargaining unit representing the employees of that policy body and collective bargaining sessions. That's pursuant to New Mexico State Statute 1978, Section 1015-1H5. To discuss the purchase, acquisition, or disposal of real property or water rights by the public body, which is closed also pursuant to New Mexico State Statute 1978, Section 1015-1H8. To discuss pending or threatening litigation regarding Olivia Dominguez versus the City of Las Cruces and Joe Hernandez, which is closed pursuant to New Mexico State Statute 1978, Section 1015-1H7. Again, the meeting started at 10:35 and we adjourned at 12:50 p.m. Next, I'll go to the acceptance of agenda.
So moved, Graham.
Second, Corin.
This is on a motion to accept the agenda as presented. Councilor McClure?
Yes.
Councilor Matisse?
Yes.
Councilor Graham?
Yes.
Councilor Coran?
Yes.
Councilor Flores?
Yes.
Councilor Bencomo?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
So next, we'll go to item 8.1, resolution number 26-053, a resolution authorizing the City of Las Cruces to accept first quarter budget adjustments.
Move to approve.
Second, Graham.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Staff, and Council. My name is Vanessa Perez, and I am one of your budget analysts. Before you is a resolution to accept various internal budget adjustments for the first quarter of fiscal year 2026. Before we dive into the overview, I just want to provide a few key reminders. The adjustments presented here today mainly focus on updating the available balances within our budget, and the data on today's presentation is just a summary of all adjustments, so if you would like further information, please refer to your packets. On your screen, you will see the first portion of general fund adjustments. The fire department is increasing both revenues and expenditures by about $527,000, as they are expecting increased billable ambulance trips after the American Medical Response contract came to an end. The fire department is also increasing revenues and expenditures by $160,000, and this is to pay New Mexico Emergency Ground Ambulance Service Fees, or NMEGAS for short, to secured Medicaid reimbursements. The fire department is also seeing a reduction in overtime and standby budget of about $287,000. This was a decision made after a citywide analysis of historical expenditures of overtime and standby versus current budget and current trends. This was a recommendation per management, and this will be performed quarterly so that we can review and make adjustments as needed. In the same manner, the police department will be seeing a reduction in overtime funding by about $27,000. Last on screen, the Parks and Rec department is receiving an increase of $125,000, and this is to cover overtime budget for quarter number 2. We've been funding their overtime and standby budget every quarter, just so that we can provide further departmental analysis. Parks and Rec is requesting funds to cover part of the Keep Las Cruces Beautiful operations, and the funds will be used to pay for supplies and temporary staff services. The city clerk's office is requesting $1,500 in overtime to cover an increase in Inspection of Public Records Act, or IPRA, requests. On screen, with both slides, there will be an increase in revenues of about $687,000 and an increase in expenditures of about $527,000. We would like to thank all of our department heads for their ongoing efforts in being as judicious as possible with our city funds. The Housing and Neighborhood Services Program is receiving a total of $175,346, and this is for additional grant awards from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD for short. Parks and Recreation is increasing their budget by about $64,000 from the Recreation Projects Fund, and this is to cover damaged canopies at Paz and Mag Field dugouts and the fitness lot on Hadley. The State Marshal's Office approved a carryover of almost $1 million for the fire department. These funds went unspent in fiscal year 2025 and are now being rolled over into fiscal year 2026. Public Works is increasing their budget by $425,000, and this is to purchase a street sweeper. Parks and Recreation is using some funding from an existing gift and memorial, and this is to purchase memorial benches and walk of honor bricks. Quality of Life is increasing their overall budget by about $133,000, and this is possible due to the interest earned on existing gifts and memorials. The City Manager's Office is requesting an increase of $295,000 from the Telshore Fund. Part of this funding is to update their available budget to be correct. It'll match the remaining budget from fiscal year 2025, and the remainder will cover an increase in the prices of buses. Utilities is increasing their increasing their budget through 5 different funds, and this is to cover the purchase of 2 Ford F-150 4x4 extended cab trucks. They are also increasing their budget in the Gas Equipment Replacement Reserve Fund, and this is to cover unexpected costs in the purchase of a truck and to cover the purchase of a tool for leak and odor investigation. They're also increasing their budget through 3 different funds, and this is to cover rock wall replacement as well as a warehouse design. Utilities is also requesting to increase budget in the Water Equipment Replacement Reserve Fund to cover the purchase of an F-350 truck and to cover surcharges for a Ford 250. An increase in gas operations fund is requested so engineering services can assist with the Energy Decarbonization Transition Plan, or EDTP for short. An increase of about $11,000 is requested from the Wastewater Capital Improvement Fund to cover the purchase of a John Deere Gator. And lastly, an increase of $373,000 from the Solid Waste Equipment Replacement Reserve Fund is needed for the purchase of a Peterbilt side loader. Before you are your council options, and I stand for questions. We also have department directors available if I am unable to answer those questions.
All right, thank you, Vanessa. Any questions? Anyone? Councilor Flores.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for your presentation. So I have I'm just curious, when all these funds are being allocated at this point, were they unforeseen at the time the budget was presented to us initially?
Mayor, Councilor Flores, are you referring to one in specific or just generally?
Just generally, because this is new allocations, right?
Some of them are. Some of them are coming in as rollovers from vehicles that weren't received last year. Some of them are new allocations, and then some of them are just adjusting our balances to reflect accurate remaining funds from different projects or different grants.
Okay, so it's some of it is new money, some of it is money that was already allocated.
That is correct.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Daniel? Terry?
This is on a motion to approve Resolution 26-053. Counselor McClure?
Yes.
Counselor Matisse?
Yes.
Counselor Graham?
Yes.
Counselor Curran?
Yes.
Counselor Flores?
Yes.
Counselor Bencomo?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next is item 8.2, resolution number 26054, resolution authorizing the city of Las Cruces to accept grant awards.
Move to approve, Graham. Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor, councilors, city management, community members. My name is Gabriela Prats. I'm the city's grant manager. Today, I bring to you a resolution to accept 2 grants and approve the adjustment of the budgets for these 2 awards. The first award is made to the City Manager's Office Airport Department by the Federal Aviation Administration in the amount of $443,000, which requires a match of approximately $11,700. The purpose of these funds are to replace the weather reporting equipment at the Las Cruces International Airport. The second grant is to the Police Department from the New Mexico Department of Public Safety in the amount of a little more than $9,500 to equip and train current honor guard teams, as well as to assist in adding members to existing teams and establishing new teams as may be necessary. These are your council options, and I stand for questions.
Thank you, Gab. Any questions? I think we're good. Terry? Christine, you're back. Christine?
This is on the motion to approve Resolution 26-054. Counselor McClure?
Yes.
Counselor Matisse?
Yes.
Counselor Graham?
Yes.
Counselor Curran?
Yes.
Counselor Flores?
Yes.
Counselor Bencomo?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Next is item 8.3, resolution number 26-055, resolution amending the FY26-31 capital improvements program.
Move to approve, Corin.
Second. Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. My name is Cynthia Lamillo, CIP Manager for City of Las Cruces. And today I have a few CIP amendments for you. Today I specifically have 2 types of amendments. One is for grants that were recently approved. One in today's meeting, just a previous item, and 2 in previous meetings. So we're making an amendment to reflect that additional funding into our CIP document. And the other category are all of our different adjustments we have identified so far. The CIP was approved this May, which meant that projects were still in development as the fiscal year ends in June. So there was an opportunity for the programs and departments to continue working on those projects. So the amendments that we're going to be presenting are those to reflect the funding that the projects currently have in order to continue forward. We have 3 projects for new grants. One is for Las Cruces Airport for the automated weather observation system. And this is the grant that Gabby just presented right now. And we have 2 housing grants that were approved at a previous council meeting, and all of those are for housing projects. This round of projects are one for Parks and Rec, the Tortugas Trail, who has an amendment resulting in an ending balance of $65,000. Then we have 3 additional airport projects. One is for the rehabilitation of runway 422, rehabilitation of runway 426 and 1230, and infrastructure and extension improvements. All of these projects continue, but this amendment is reflecting of what the project currently has in order to move forward. So like I mentioned, the project continues, so there are expenses, so this is what they currently have. We have another housing project and a project for sustainability, the solar photovoltaic storage projects. And then this is again to continue projects to advance the use of clean energy. We have several utilities projects, and all of them reflect, again, funding that they currently have available to move forward. Water miscellaneous, you see a decrease. This is because the project has been completed. Water rehabilitation, water septic systems, water 2025 projects, water building improvements, which is for any improvement for the interior and exterior of the building, and wastewater 23 projects all have different adjustments, but they're moving forward. Next, we have 2 projects for the Parks and Rec, ball field, multi-use field renovations and upgrade. There has a reduction with an ending balance of $14,000. This project is almost done. And then we have a Clean Park Improvements, who has now a complete deduction of the funding because the project is complete. But I would like to invite Catherine Harrison Rogers with Parks and Rec so she can give us more details on these 2 projects.
Thanks, Cynthia. Catherine Harrison Rogers for the record. So the ball field improvements, this was a capital outlay, and we applied this to the High Noon soccer facility. There were some fencing improvements that were included as part of these monies expended. In addition, we did some upgrades to the irrigation. The facility is relatively old, and so that has to be done from time to time. And then, of course, we also did the bulk of the improvements at the concession and the bathrooms. That project included improvements to the concession stand, some upgrades to those bathrooms that have been closed for quite a while, and then some other improvements included water fountains, which are really needed for these types of fields. The next one on the list was Klein Park. This one is complete at this juncture. There were several improvements associated with this, also capital outlay. You can see this lovely mural that was done in conjunction with the project. It turned out really, really well. We did a re-roof of the bandstand structure, as well as some improvements to both the stucco and the paint. And shade structures, those are very important. That's actually one of the top requests that we get all of the time from families and community members, just because the sun here, of course, is pretty intense. So you can see that shade structure. And then in addition to that, we did some improvements to just generally the grounds, leveling out some surfacing, picnic table, things of that nature. So it's a really lovely park. It's really coming together, and we do improvements every couple of years, which is great.
Thank you, Catherine. Cynthia Lemillo for the record. We now have the last 3 amendments for this round. These are all related to transit. We have the Municipal Service Center, electric buses, and transit facilities improvement program. And all of these projects, I would like to invite Richard Hanway to provide a bit more of update on the actual last 2, electric buses and transit facilities program.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. Richard Hanway, Transit Director, for the record. The first project that I'd like to talk about on the CIP is the Municipal Service Center. This is the single most investment that has ever been made in transit since the inception of transit in 1985. Happy to say that we have moved in as of March of 2025 of this year. Previously, we were housed in the Hadley facility that was on a 2.5 acre lot. This new facility is 11 acres. It consists of our operations and maintenance building facility and a fuel island and a wash bay. The first part I would like to discuss is the operations side of it. It houses our fixed route and our vomital services, the driver's locker rooms. It also has the dispatching is housed there as well. This is what the dispatching area looks like. Adjoined to the operations building is the maintenance facility. Our previous maintenance facility only had 2 bus bays, and this one has 6. This is a rendering what it looks like inside. This is our our fueling facility, canopy. It's a separate building. In the back, you can also see the wash bay. And this is an automated bus wash that's inside that bay. This also houses our electric bus charging infrastructure. This is where we have our electric buses getting charged at. And the second project that I'd like to talk about are the electric buses and our transition to a zero-emission fleet. Currently, we have 5 buses that we're using since August of 2024, and they're doing very, very well. We've already secured funding for 6 more. They were due in June of this year, but we had a little bit of a delay at the plant. But I'm happy to say that they are in production, and they're due in February of 2026, and that's 6 more. So these are pictures of them at the factory right now. Once we get these buses in, we'll have 11 out of our 20 large buses converted to fully electric. So we're well on our way to doing that. I'd like to also say thanks for your support from the citizens that use transit, to the tune of about 800,000 rides last year in FY25 on fixed route, and over 56,000 rides for paratransit. So I'd like to say thanks. Thanks for your support.
Thank you, Richard. So that is the set of amendments that we are proposing today as we continue to work with the departments to identify all of the projects and the remaining funding in order for them to move forward and seek completion. So for the next couple of council meetings, you're going to be seeing several more CIP amendments. So with that, we have your council's options for today, and we have city staff if you have specific question on any of the projects.
Okay, thanks, Cynthia. Catherine, thank you for the update on parks, and Richard, awesome. Thank you for the update on transit. Appreciate it. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. I hate to bring you up here, Catherine, for just one tiny question. I was looking for our last emails about the high noon bathrooms. Those have been reopened, right? I know there were some snafus out of our control.
Councilor Bencomo and members of council, as I understand it, there were some plumbing issues associated with the men's restroom in particular, and just the flushing of the urinals. They were going to replace some parts, but I do believe that they've been opened. I can't 100% confirm that, but I do believe they've been opened and they're making those adjustments as needed.
Okay. Will you just follow up with an email?
I will absolutely follow up with an email.
Actually, maybe. Perfect. Thank you.
Counselor Bencomo, yes, those restrooms have been open, but they did close them down today through Wednesday to go in and replace and warranty some of the equipment. So they have been open, but they are going to be shut till Wednesday.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none. Christine?
This is on the motion to approve Resolution 26-055. Counselor McClure?
Yes.
Counselor Matisse?
Yes.
Counselor Graham?
Yes.
Counselor Coran?
Yes.
Counselor Flores?
Yes.
Counselor Bencomo?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Next is item 8.4, resolution number 26-056, a resolution to enter into an existing contract purchase agreement for body cameras.
Move to approve, Graham. Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Councilor, City staff. My name is Virginia Varela, Buyer 2 with the Financial Services Department. And before you today is a resolution authorizing the city to enter into an existing contract purchase agreement for public safety video systems. The City of Las Cruces Police Department initiated a body-worn camera program in 2014, supplying limited officers with Axon body-worn cameras. In addition to the body cameras and data management and maintenance system used to store video evidence, LCPD equipped officers with Axon Taser brand non-lethal conductive electrical weapons, which interconnected with the Axon body-worn cameras. This program was later expanded to include all officers, and all outdated equipment was upgraded. The program and later expansion assisted Las Cruces Police Department in meeting the needs of Senate Bill 8, which mandates that all New Mexico law enforcement activate body cameras during interactions with the public. On November 16, 2020, City Council approved Resolution 21073, authorizing the award of a purchase agreement with Axon to procure body-worn cameras, interconnected non-lethal electronic weapons, and data management and maintenance system for video evidence for a term of 5 years, which is effective through November 17, 2025. LCPD will require continued services with Axon to manage and maintain their current inventory of body cameras and non-lethal electronic systems and expand on the program with the growth of their department past the expiration of our current agreement. Las Cruces Municipal Code 24-4 authorized exemptions authorizes the City of Las Cruces to utilize contracts from other entities. Utilization of these contracts allows for efficient and cost-effective procurement of goods and services to meet the city's operational needs. The New Mexico State Purchasing Division has a contract with Axon Enterprises Incorporated of Scottsdale, Arizona. The term is effective through June 30th of 2034. This NMSPD contract will include all body-worn cameras, management system, non-lethal electronic equipment that LCPD currently uses, and it will allow LCPD to grow with their department and increase on this program. We are currently asking for an annual not-to-exceed total of $2,500,000. This will be for the term of the contract, and it will allow for future growth as the city utilizes this contract through 2034. And of course, this is subject to approved budget appropriations. Before you are your options, and I will stand for any questions.
Thank you, Virginia. Any questions? Councilor Coran? I'm sorry, go ahead, Councilor Flores.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Councilor Coran. So my question is this. It seems to me that it's a, okay idea, but all of this is to upgrade what we already have? Or is it adding in anticipation of more police officers, or?
So Mayor, Councilor Flores, the contract will be to maintain our existing contract for all the equipment we currently have, to upgrade the equipment we have as it meets its useful life cycle, to pay for the management and software system for it, and then to grow on the program as the department grows in future years.
Okay, so it's a data storage issue.
Mayor, Councilor Flores, it's not necessarily a data storage issue. Every year, the cost of this equipment gets more expensive. We have to add it as we add more police officers, and then when new equipment comes out and new items come out that LCPD can use in services to conduct their jobs, we want to be able to have the ability to increase on the program utilizing the equipment that is offered that will interconnect with our current equipment.
Okay, so I just have a question that, so I'm just curious. So when we, have our big summit and go through, like in December when we go, or January when we go through budget allocations and all that, is this something that has come up inadvertently, or is it just something that has to be addressed at this point? Was it anticipated, or how does that work? Because this is like a end-of-year adjustment to our last year's budget.
Mayor, Councilor Flores, so what this contract would be doing would be setting a capping limit for how much we can expend. So every year with the new budget that is presented to council, if new equipment's going to be purchased, if they're going to expand on the program, they would have to present that to council and get it incorporated and approved through their budget in order to purchase the new equipment. This is just setting their limit on how much they can spend in any given year.
Oh, I see. That explains it very well. Thank you so much.
Yes,
thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilor Curran?
Thank you. I don't, this isn't really a question, so as everyone loves comment more than a question, I know. I just wanted to point out, as I think we talked about this a while ago. This is, I think, something we approved a few years back in this context, but I do think it's a great example of things, people not necessarily understanding. This is related to a state law, right, that requires certain types of things. And when that law was passed, how much funding did they give us to fulfill this law? I think none, if I remember correctly. And so I just want to point out, like, this is the kind of complicated relationship we have with when people make new laws, and sometimes it's us, and sometimes it's others, and sometimes, it's compelled, and sometimes it's the right thing to do, and all of those things, we also understand that there has to be. So this is the classic definition of an unfunded mandate from our state. I would just like to name it as such, and if you don't follow local politics, I think it's an interesting example of such. So in addition to us wanting to do what is right, but I think this is an interesting conversation in that context. So anyway, thanks. I just wanted to point that out as a thing that we often face in local government.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Curran. Christine?
This is on the motion to approve Resolution 26-056. Councilor McClure?
Yes.
Councilor Matisse?
Yes.
Councilor Graham?
Yes.
Councilor Cran?
Yes.
Councilor Flores?
Yes.
Councilor Bencomo?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Next is item 8.5, resolution number 26-057, a resolution adopting the Small Business Safety Improvement Program.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right. Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. Irene Bada with Economic Development. Today, I'm here to present the Las Cruces Small Business Safety Improvement Program. During my presentation, I will provide an overview of the program objectives, outline the available financial and technical assistance, review eligibility criteria, describe the application process, and the planned marketing and follow-up strategies.
The Small Business Safety Improvement Program represents a collaborative effort to strengthen public safety and economic vitality within the El Paseo-Sao Solano Metropolitan Redevelopment Area. In March 2023, City Council approved the El Paseo-Sao Solano MRA designation. The MRA designation report findings included creating opportunities to preserve existing businesses and expand business and job opportunities. This past July, City Council adopted the El Paseo-Sao Solano MRA plan. Today's presentation outlines one of the first implementation steps tied to that plan. The El Paseo-Sao Solano plan outlined several goals, including social equity by expanding services to underserved areas, economic revitalization by strengthening retail and commercial areas to attract visitors and investment, and public safety by enhancing security and community trust through proactive measures. The Safety Improvement Program works to support these goals. Between April 2024 and June 2025, multiple stakeholder engagements took place as part of the development of the MRA plan, including public listening sessions, workshops, and community surveys, in which respondents consistently ranked public safety improvements as both a community and economic development priority. Strategic recommendations highlighted within the MRA plan emphasized building on existing community safety programs and deepening collaboration between the LCPD Community Outreach Unit. The Small Business Safety Improvement Program is designed to do exactly that, by empowering businesses to take practical preventative measures. Program objectives of the Small Business Safety Improvement Program are to promote proactive safety investments, to support small business resiliency and customer confidence, to strengthen collaboration between the business community and law enforcement, and to encourage long-term revitalization and economic growth within the MRA. The Small Business Safety Improvement Program will incentivize businesses to invest in security measures, offering grants up to $5,000 per business or property to fund eligible security equipment. Eligible expenses include security cameras, including doorbell cameras, lighting, locks and doors, fencing, fence covering, and door and window sensors. The city has allocated $100,000 to this pilot program, and Economic Development would like to take this opportunity to thank City Council for this funding. The Small Business Safety Improvement Program focuses on a multi-pronged approach, leveraging technology, education and training, and community partnerships. Additional technical support will be offered by the LCPD Community Outreach Unit. They will offer on-site evaluations, community awareness training, and crime prevention consultations. Recommendations may include improved lighting, landscaping adjustments, entry visibility, and other best practices. This additional support will be offered at no cost to the business. Businesses may request an assessment as part of their application. To qualify, applicants must be located within the El Paseo-Sao Solano MRA. They must employ 40 or fewer employees, be independently owned and for-profit or eligible nonprofit, hold a valid city business license and be in good standing with the city and state, and be open to the public. Applications will be accepted on a rolling basis beginning November 3rd, 2025, and awarded on a first-come, first-served basis until all funds are expended. Purchases made prior to the program opening will not be eligible for reimbursement. Reimbursements will require proof of purchase and photos of installation of equipment. A marketing campaign will target those businesses within the MRA. Announcements of the Safety Improvement Program will go out through digital marketing and be made available on the city's website. Information will also be made available as part of regular business outreach and site visits. To ensure accountability and measure program effectiveness, follow-up evaluations will be conducted. Metrics may include reduction in safety incidences, improvements in security measures, and increase in employee confidence and customer traffic. Follow-up evaluations may be conducted through online surveys, employer interviews, and customer testimonials. Following the successful completion of the pilot program, additional MRAs may be added based on community need, available resources, and program performance. The Small Business Safety Improvement Program represents a practical, community-driven approach to improving safety and supporting small businesses. It aligns directly with the city's MRA plan, our economic development goals, and our commitment to building trust between the community, law enforcement, and local business owners. This concludes this presentation. With me here today is Lieutenant Joy with the Community Outreach Unit and Selena Morales, Deputy Director with Economic Development. These are council options, and with that, I stand for questions.
All right, thank you, Irene. Any questions from Councilor Flores?
Yes, thank you. And thank you so much, Irene, Ms. Parra, for your presentation. It sounds wonderful. And it's an MRA, so there's been a lot of activity to improve the MRA or whatever. I'm glad that Officer Joy's on this, because I think that she's a real plus to our community insofar as seeing our police officers as people who are there to protect us and our friends, actually, and neighbors. But I'm curious about the keeping an eye on how successful it is, and how the information will be gathered, what sort of, I suppose there's maybe in the making or already the sorts of indicators that you are expecting to keep an eye on to see if it's, so is that in the making, or is this all hypothetical at this point, or is it ready to plug it in?
Mayor, Councilor Flores, yes, there are metrics that we are building in place right now. Part of that is going to be a pre-assessment that we're going to include. Once a business is deemed eligible, we will be sending them a questionnaire to identify sort of what the current state of things are for them, so that once the program is at its completion, we can go back and do a post-assessment to measure what the state of their business is and activity is at that point. So we have a point of measure. So we will be taking information at the beginning of the program and again at the end, and comparing that and using that as measures if we're able to continue this program in ways that we can improve it.
So have all the businesses in the MRAs been advised, or they're on notice, or they've been of this opportunity?
So Mayor, Councilor Flores, part of this came from feedback directly from businesses within the MRA.
I see.
Yes.
So those are the businesses that will probably benefit from it.
Correct.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Councilor Curran.
Thank you for your presentation and for bringing this forward. I have a quick question. So we're approving this funding generally. I'm curious in terms of the MRA, the model for funding our MRA activities. This is not coming from that yet, right? We don't have any revenues from the MRA officially
Mayor,
yet.
Councilor Crown, you are correct.
Okay, so I'm hoping, I would also like to know, just in terms of the evaluation and understanding what the impacts are, I would also like to know, like, how we can think about this in a sustainable way, right? And then expand it to other MRAs if that's sort of warranted based on what the conversations happen like. And again, I know we're all anxious to get the MRAs rolling, but I'm curious if the timing of this relates to that or not at all, or how we might reflect when that actually does become a source of income for us.
Mayor, Councilor Cran, I appreciate that feedback. And I think that given the information that we received during the stakeholder engagements, there does seem to be a need to want to address this. And so rather than waiting for those funds to come in, we wanted to take this opportunity with the funds that we do have to start this program and build on it based on lessons learned.
Thank you. But we don't know when the MRAs are going to start bringing in money, or do we? That's what I would love to know more about.
Defer that to our Deputy Director.
She's the one with the magic wand.
Good afternoon, everyone. Selena Morales. Yes, thank you, Mayor and Councilor Curran. So right now we don't have funds. This is where we're still setting the baseline, and then once we have the baseline, then we'll be able to accumulate the property tax and GRT for that. So your architect, we don't have anything right now. I mean, we're constantly looking for grants and things like that to help supplement meanwhile, and whatever you all want to give us, we'll take. So that's kind of what we're waiting on as well.
That's it. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Thank you all three of you so much. I know I met with you all before, and yeah, this was part of, my budget priorities last year, and I don't know if you guys remembered not as good as your PowerPoint, but definitely my PowerPoint was pretty good, I thought. But what I wanted to say actually was that I really appreciated how quickly you all moved on this and how quickly you all came up with an idea for us to utilize these funds that felt really responsive to the community's needs. So thank you very much. And I don't know why I didn't think of this before. I think maybe page 7, I don't remember where you had some of the requirements. Yeah. I was thinking about the 40 employees.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious how you'll treat things like Walgreens. Oh, no, non-corporate. Yeah,
Right.
My bad. I was too stuck on that to have noticed it. So yeah, you're filtering out any sort of franchise, fast food chain restaurants and things like that.
Mayor Pro Tem Bencomo, correct. We
Okay,
are.
awesome. Thank you so much. I'm
Sure.
sorry that I missed it, and
okay.
that was really my only question. So
Okay.
thank you. Thanks again.
Again, thank you for all your efforts and your works into this. Lieutenant, just a quick question on what does staffing look like right now for community engagement? Because it's just more duties assigned. I know you've got a lot of them, but how does it look right now?
Mayor, City Councilor, I appreciate that question. Right now, I am short 1 community outreach officer, so I think that looks pretty darn good.
What is the total right now?
So right now, staff-wise, we're at 8. That includes the sergeant and all the officers. And so right now, we're at 7 versus the 8.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because we were talking about sustaining and growing and those type of things, making sure we're moving in the direction that, doesn't limit our resources as we move forward. So again, thank you. Thank you all. No other questions, Christine?
This is an motion to approve Resolution 26-057. Counselor McClure?
Yes.
Counselor Matisse?
Yes.
Counselor Graham?
Yes.
Counselor Cran?
Yes.
Counselor Flores?
Yes.
Counselor Bencomo?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Next, we go to board appointments, which there are none, and then the notice of proposed ordinances. We have 2. The first one is Council Bill number 26-008, ordinance number 3100, an ordinance authorizing the city to enter into franchise agreement with Ripple Fiber New Mexico.
Bring it forward.
The second one is Council Bill number 26-009, ordinance number 3101, an ordinance authorizing the issuance and sale of City of Las Cruces, New Mexico taxable industrial revenue bond, Endurance Technologies, in a maximum principal amount of $17,600,000.
Bring it forward.
Next, we'll go to City Council member board reports and comments. Councilor McClure.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to bring up that I've been going to the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, and I would invite members of the public to also attend that. The next meeting is November 19th, 2025, if anybody would like to come. It's a noon meeting. You're going to have judges there. It kind of skews heavy to law enforcement. I've learned a lot. I don't know much about the criminal justice system because I guess I've been a goody-goody for most of my life. So, but it's been a learning experience. We have an 88-page interview with stakeholder document that has been incredibly helpful to kind of parse out what the environment looks like here in Las Cruces. But getting feedback is always helpful, or else we kind of just stare at each other, and I would appreciate not doing that too. We're working on the strategic plan, so this would be a ground floor level sort of thing if you're wanting to get involved, and it's just an hour. It's at the Magistrate Court. Would recommend you coming. I'd also like to make a pitch for our regional dispatch. If anybody would like to explore career opportunities, they're always hiring. I don't think we had kind of addressed that enough, that there's always need for that portion as well. And then quickly, a shout out to the Literary Festival. Visit Las Cruces, also a part of that, got to stop in. We do have a thriving literary community here, not always acknowledged, and I'd like to give a quick shout out that we did have that here, all the way from Santa Fe down, representing local artists and writers too. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Matisse?
Thank you, Mayor. Most of my comments or questions are going to be addressed to the city attorney, so maybe Brad, you could walk along with me. I phoned in from my vacation from Turkey and Greece, and I had pretty bad communications, so I lost a lot of the council meeting. I got to vote, I think it was a 5-2, correct? On that welcoming community resolution. So I just want some clarity, and if you could answer some of my questions. Would that be okay?
Yes, Counselor, I'll do my best. If there's something that I think veers into attorney-client privilege, we'll have to meet offline.
I know you will. If you go to page 3, I hope you can bring up a copy of the new resolution real quick on your computer. I just had a question on page 365 of the 524 on the welcoming community resolution, the revised one. And sorry for my ignorance, and I'm not as sharp as attorneys, so I just have some clarity that I need some help with. I believe it's on page 365 under section 3. The copy that I received, you changed that, correct? It says report to the city council and city manager, all training completed to ensure full compliance with this ordinance. That was changed to resolution.
Counselor, I don't have a copy of the resolution handy. There were a couple of edits made, but I don't have it in front of me. If you have a copy,
Yeah,
I'd be happy to look at it.
I believe what I have is a final copy, and I think that word ordinance is still maybe in the law, in the resolution. So that needs to either come back for an amendment, maybe after the election, but if it's still there, or maybe you had corrected it.
Right. Sorry, Mayor, Counselor. It's my understanding that it actually was corrected.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's the most up-to-date copy, but if it is the most up-to-date copy and there was something that slipped through, that's certainly something that would be eligible for an administrative change. So we'll go ahead and make that change.
Okay, and I was just going to ask maybe the city manager or yourself some clarity on the prohibition of city resources. I believe it's B. There's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. But it would be B. It says stopping, identifying, investigating, arresting, detaining, or continuing to detain a person for immigration enforcement operation purposes, including pursuant to an immigration detainer, an administrative immigration warrant, or other immigration enforcement document, or information or suspicion that the person is not present legally in the United States, or that person has committed an immigration policy. But do I understand this, that that city employees are prohibited? Is there a restriction or a prohibition on the reporting? Am I understanding that correct?
The way I would answer your question is that LCPD does not now, nor has it ever, engaged in solely immigration-related enforcement without compensation from the federal government. And this governing body has made it clear that we do not wish to engage in that type of activity. And so this is specifying for now what we're doing now and for what we hope to keep doing in the future.
And so this would encompass all city employees, not just LCPD. Is this all city employees?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And then where are we and what will the impact be if you go to section 3? It says, in order to ensure compliance with this resolution within 6 months of adoption or whenever feasible, but not more than 1 year, the city departments or agencies shall provide employees with a written directive, protocol, instructions for implementing this resolution, and shall provide an ongoing basis such trainings as are necessary to ensure compliance with this resolution. The city manager, will there be increased staff? Will there be increased cost? How is this going to be implemented? Mr. Connie or Brad, someone?
Counselor, I can answer that one. Even though it's not explicitly stated in the resolution, it was always my anticipation that it would be my office that would provide direction, that would provide training, and that would provide assistance to the entire city government, of course, with input from other department directors, but I would not anticipate that it would lead to any unanticipated costs at this point.
Okay, and if you go down to C, it does say that the report to the city council and city manager, all training completed. When does the training start? When do I get trained? You know, I might need some training.
Counselor, so the subsection that you just referenced anticipates that city staff will report to city council which trainings have been completed, what direction has been given. But if any member of the governing body after that 6-month period would like to meet with me offline, I'd be more than happy to do that.
Okay, and I was just going to ask Christine, I know you have a lot of work as city clerk. I believe this is on page 366. It says the city clerk or designee shall provide quarterly public reports. And so do you have any increased staff overtime or anything, any impact there? Or can you easily handle did you want me to read the whole thing?
Councilor Matisse, this will probably be me. I don't have increased staff, but I just got overtime in my budget today, so this will be handled.
Okay. And then lastly, it's just information regarding citizenship or immigration status. It's clear to me that nothing in this resolution shall be construed to prohibit or restrict any city employee, agent, or agency from sending to or receiving from federal immigration authorities information regarding the citizenship or immigration status, lawful or unlawful, of an individual, or from requesting from federal immigration authorities immigration status information, lawful or unlawful, of any individual, or maintaining or exchanging that information with any other federal, state, or local government pursuant to sections 1373 and 1644 of Title 8 of the United States Code. So that's actually the wrap-up or the summary of the resolution, correct?
Correct, Counselor.
Okay, thank you very much. I just had a few other things, Mayor. I just wanted to comment on Chris Favy with helping me with some businesses asking for funding for damaged property. I just want to give a kudos to Chris. Thank you very much. I think it was Mr. Lamb, and very quick response, and he's quite satisfied in helping him with the application. Really appreciate that. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilor Grant?
Nothing at this time, thanks.
Councilor Curran?
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Councilor Flores?
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem?
You know, I didn't have anything planned today, and I wasn't gonna say anything, but I just can't let the lingering language that just occurred, the dog whistles about the welcoming city resolution, just linger about how incredibly hostile those are to our immigrant community that live in this community, that pay GRT in this community. So I don't know, if a constituent ever reached out to me, why I would need to ask for their legal status before I helped them. That's, incredibly disappointing and shameful that you're already plotting to rescind this after the election, and I hope our community is listening. That's deeply disappointing.
Couple of things that I wanted to mention was this Saturday I got to participate in the 250th marking for, as our country will turn 250 years next year. But the Daughters of the American Revolution had a gathering and a celebration at Klein Park. They actually had a marker there marking the 250 year, and it was a great presentation to be reminded of what even the Daughters of the American Revolution do, which is to preserve our history, to educate, and patriotism. And the timing was great to see that and to hear that, and to also know that they volunteer and help charities, and they get involved with civic engagement and do all these things for us. And it was a good example, and I share it, I give them kudos, because I think that's a lot of what we can do, is educate and remember our patriotism and their values of being united and freedom. So with that, I'll turn it over to our city manager.
Thank you, Mayor Enriquez, Mayor Pro Tem Ben Coleman, City Council, Kane Tamapea, City Manager. Just a few highlights. Community development. Las Cruces is updating its downtown master plan to reflect changes since 2016 version and to chart a bold path forward. Over a dedicated week of outreach, city staff and the firm placemakers will collect input from residents, businesses, and stakeholders to guide improvements. We invite everyone and all those listening to the following events. So Monday, October 20th, 6 to 7:30 is the opening, presentation, and kickoff. Wednesday, October 22nd, 10 to 11 a.m. is the open house, drop-in session. And Friday, October 24th is the closing presentation and summarizing finding next steps, 6 to 7:30. All events will be held at Amador Live, 302 South Main Street. For more information, you can find more information on the city website. Housing, reminder, community open house for the upcoming consolidated plan and affordable housing plan will be held October 22nd at Las Cruces Home Builders Event Hall. All are invited to drop in between 3 and 7 p.m. City Las Cruces and Doña Ana County invite you to share your input and help improve housing availability. October, again, event hall on Main Street, 2825 North Main Street. And for quality of life, the 90 years of the Brannigan Library exhibit opened at the Brannigan Cultural Center on 90 years ago. So on Friday, November 7th, we will celebrate the 90th anniversary of the Thomas Brannigan Memorial Library with a program at 2:30 p.m. And just a few more, neurodivergent Thursdays and teen Tuesdays are permanent evenings at the museums, and senior program nutrition team was notified that they will be a recipient of the Golden Chili Award of the New Mexico Grown program. They will receive the award in Albuquerque on December 1st. This annual event recognizes schools and organizations that promote, utilize locally grown foods throughout the state. And for Public Works, 2024 to 2025 high-density mineral project is complete, 32 streets treated with a total cost of $400,000, and East Madrid Avenue will be back open to public use by October 30th. Total project was $3.6 million. So thank you to our Public Works team. Last but not least, Sky Fiesta is coming up. Want to invite everyone who can listen. This will be an exciting event happening on Saturday, October 25th. The show starts at 12 o'clock. It's happening all that afternoon. So hopefully you can make it. There'll be food, events, aerial events, air racing. So a lot of great things. But thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Connie. Move for a motion to adjourn.
So moved by Flores.
Second.
This is on the motion to adjourn the meeting. Counselor McClure?
Yes.
Counselor Matisse?
Yes.
Counselor Graham?
Yes.
Counselor Coran?
Yes.
Counselor Flores?
Yes.
Counselor Bencomo?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.